welcome to another round of Sports Views. Tonight, I'm reviewing and reacting to, more in depth, the 2021 Scotiabank CONCACAF Champions League draw, the Liga de Campeones de CONCACAF de Scotiabank sorteo. Reacting to it, I'll react to all the ties from 1 to 8 of the round of 16, and there you go. And later in March, I'll make my predictions of the tournament. But here's my first thoughts about each tie. So here you go. First off, Cruz Azul versus Arcai FC. Cruz Azul, a team who made the quarterfinals of the 2020 Scotiabank CONCACAF Champions League versus Arcai, the first ever debut appearance for them. They're going to get beat up. They lost to Supressa 5-0. This is over 2 legs, at least like 12. 12-0 for Cruz Azul. Not Club America, Cruz Azul. Yeah. Like, that's something Club America would do. That's why I said it. Cruz Azul is about to just rip them apart to shreds. Like, seriously. This is not something Cruz Azul should screw up, like they normally screw things up. They're about to rip Arcai to shreds. This is an obvious tie. I don't know who thinks Arcai could win this, but if you do, you need a freaking lobotomy or a padded cell. Okay? It's not going to happen. Arcai is going to get just stomped around by Cruz Azul. I have nothing else to say. It's going to be fun to watch if you like goals and Cruz Azul. If you don't, we'll see. I mean, maybe they'll keep it tied at the first leg in wherever Arcai plays. They can't play in Haiti, that's the point. They can't play in Haiti, that's the point. They'll probably play in Dominica like they did Forge, but whatever. In the CONCACAF League, but yeah. Maybe they'll keep it close at home. We'll see. That's the thing. But enough about that tie. The second tie of the round of 16, Forge or Toronto FC, the Canadian Championship winner versus Club Leon. Of course we get them. Of course. Well, I like Forge anyway, so I'm kind of pissed off there, but at least they're supposed to lose. At least they obviously would lose to Club Leon. Toronto FC, we want to win this damn thing. We got screwed. I mean, it doesn't help that Ali Curtis won't make any signings. Make some signings. All right? Make some signings. I don't like this tie. I don't. I really don't. But hey, if you're going to win the damn thing, why not run the damn gauntlet? If LAFC could do it, we could do it. If we could basically damn near run a gauntlet in 2018, screw it. We'll do it again. We got to sign some players, but you know what? Fine. You want to make us run a gauntlet? We'll run the gauntlet. All right? Fine. I wanted an easy start, but hey, if we're going to have to play a Mexican team who's been playing for 4 months while we're playing in preseason, fine. Great, because MLS pushed the start of the season back 2 weeks. Even though one MLS game probably wouldn't make a difference anyway. We'll see. At least the second leg is going to be at least at Rentschler Field. I'm scared. But hey, you know what? Damn it. It's better to get a hard team out early than have to beat 3 of them. Even though we'll still have to run the gauntlet. But you get my point. It's better to jump in the deep end than like swim to the deep end, I guess, you know? If you're going to be in the deep end at some point, well, you just jump in it, you know? Sure. Club Leon's the best team in Mexico. They are. They're the reigning Liga MX champions. They've been playing for 4 months at that point. In April, they'll be playing for 4 months at that point. They'll have way more heads up than they would ever before. We haven't made a damn signing, except our manager. What makes you think? I'm scared. Honestly, I'm scared. If Toronto pulls this off, that's basically a minor miracle in itself. Not because of Chris Armas being the manager, because we haven't made any signings. Io Akinola's a good striker, but I'd rather have Boré a guy who's played in the Libertadores. I'd rather have somebody like, I don't know, a Loic Landre at center back instead of a Omar Gonzalez, because that's just a recipe for disaster against Club Leon or any Mexican team, might I add. All I'm saying is sign some players and we may have a chance. Don't, we're losing. That's what I think about the second tie. Let's go. Jump in the deep end. Let's go, you know? Let's go. But hey, it is what it is. So there you go. There's the second tie. Like, Forge has like a 20%, 15% chance of going, and even then, they're expected to lose. We're the team that has to have, we have a following behind us, you know? We have an image to protect. Well, we almost probably blew that against Independiente, but hey, at least this time we're playing a hard team. Say, if we lose in the round of 16, it ain't gonna suck as much, isn't it? Right? Right? Okay, we'll see. But hey, here we go. Tie 3, Monterrey versus Club Atletico Pantoja. They get an easy team. Monterrey haven't been really great overall. They're getting better. They're not dead last like they were around the time they went to the Club World Cup. They're getting better. They got to the playoffs. They got to the Liguilla. This will be a good tie, but Monterrey should get it done, honestly. They should. They'll show why they're the better team. It's going to be a fun tie, but, you know, nothing special. It's one of those normal garden variety ties, you know. Next up, Columbus Crew versus Real Alastelli. Columbus Crew should win the tie, frankly. Like, this isn't a prediction. This is just what I think. This tie is going to be a more obvious tie. Now, anything can happen in CONCACAF, but especially in the away legs. But Columbus is just a good team. Columbus is amazing. So, with that said, for me, you'd have to say Columbus Crew would probably do their job. It's going to be a good tie, but it's kind of obvious. Next up, Philadelphia Union versus Deportivo Supressa. This is a tie. Now, this is a low-key possible upset, not going to lie. Because Philadelphia Union's first appearance in the Champions League, Supressa's been here before. They almost won the Champions League. I know they got rid of Johan Venegas, but let's be honest, I like the tie. I think Supressa, as I said, they're not a one-man team. They could get it done. Bolaños, Kendall Waston in defense. He's MLS standard. He could get a job done. This tie is juicy. You know, this tie is juicy. Philly versus Supressa. It's juicy. And I think it's going to be a fun tie. It'll probably be the second best tie of the round of 16. Of course, Toronto, Club Leon, or Forge Club Leon will be, especially if it's Toronto. That'll be the best because, you know, that's the closest in gap in talent, but it's still a gap. Toronto are still the underdogs, but it's like the closest gap in talent. But I could see Philadelphia getting trapped by being there for the first time, losing their best players, by the way, and not replacing them, losing to a team like Supressa. I could see it. I could see it. It's going to be a juicy tie, Philadelphia versus Supressa. It's going to be a juicy tie, and it's going to be a fun one. It's going to have twists and turns. A lot of twists and turns, and I can't wait to see it. Number 6, Atlanta United versus LD Alajuelense. That's going to be a good tie as well because it's Gabriel Heinze's Atlanta United. The first time you've seen them play. They should be better. Joseph's going to be back. It's the first time. But you don't know how it's going to go. Alajuelense are the reigning CONCACAF League champions. This also has a air of what's going to happen to it. Because, yes, Atlanta are the favorites slightly, considering Heinze should bring them back to their glory days. And they have Joseph back because technically they're a one-man team. Still have Jurgen Damm. They still brought back Kubo Torres. I mean, look at it. It's possible. It looks very like there could be an upset here, but Atlanta could still win. But at least there's an air of like what's going to happen. You could be wrong. It's not like obvious, you know? So I like this tie as well. 7, Club America versus CD Olympia. Club America are on the downswing. So this is also a good tie, I think, because Club America are on the downswing. They're not as special as they used to be. They're looking okay under Solari, former Real Madrid manager, but Olympia's Olympia. And they're kind of pissed off about how they got knocked out of last year's Champions League and the CONCACAF League. I mean, you could say that it's possible that they just come out guns a-blazing, Bankston scores, and hey, they could have a lead coming out of the home leg for them, going to Azteca. It's possible. I don't think Club America are that good. They're still building, but under Solari. They look okay, but they're still where they are where Herrera left them. This could be a good tie as well. Hopefully, Olympia does capitalize because, you know. And then finally, the 8th tie, Portland Timbers versus CD Marathon. We end with kind of an obvious tie, a tie of a good team versus a Central American team. Now, Portland, they have made some signings. They have 2 new Liga MX center backs. They'll also sign another center back. Honestly, Portland is a good team. They should be able to handle Marathon. Should be. Home and away. With Abobase, there you go. They should be able to handle them. And Valeri, Portland should be able to do fine. So with that tie, it's kind of like, yeah, Portland should handle them. Now, some could go south. It could have a bad first leg, Portland, and just ruins them. I know that firsthand. But, yeah, for me, it's kind of an obvious tie, Portland versus Marathon. So, there you go. That's what I think about the 8 ties of the round of 16. There's some intriguing ties. Of course, Toronto is probably going to be in the tournament. So, of course, Leon, Toronto's intriguing to me, even though I know where this is probably going, especially if we don't make any signings, because we probably aren't. But, hey, I'd say the most intriguing ties, seriously, would be the Canadian team for George Toronto versus Club Leon, especially if it's Toronto. Supressa versus the Union, because it's the Union's first time. You really don't know about CONCACAF until you've been there twice. You really don't. At least Armas coached the Red Bulls in CONCACAF, so, wait, no. No, he did. Did he? Yeah, he did. Because, yeah, it was 2019 he did. So he knows CONCACAF. So I'm fine. But you don't know CONCACAF until you've been there twice. You really don't. Even if you watch it, you really don't know. You really don't know. You have to be there. And then Atlanta versus Alajuelense is a very intriguing tie. And Club America versus CD Olympia is intriguing. The ones that aren't is Cruz Azul versus Arcai, Monterrey versus Pantoja, Columbus versus Steli, and Portland versus Marathon. So we have 4 intriguing ties and 4 not really intriguing ties. I'm going to watch them all. I'll cover them all. You know I will. Just got past 400 subscribers. You love to see it. So with that, I think I'll also put this on Instagram just because. Why not? It's under 15 minutes. So with that said, if you like this video, like it, share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell all your friends. Tomorrow, I will have a live watch-along of Tigres versus Bayern in the Club World Cup final and an RSR for it. And then after that, I may be gone for a couple of weeks. Well, no, a week or 2. Until the Canadian women playing the She Believes Cup. Maybe Toronto will finally make a signing. Ali Curtis, do something! I beg of you, do something! Ali Curtis. And, yeah. Yeah, there you go. It's a little bit, the faucet is starting to leak from here, but it's not, So I get a little bit of a break, but we'll still talk about the She Believes Cup for Canada. And then, yeah, and then in March, we have the Canadian men's Olympic qualifiers and preseason, and the start of preseason in February, probably late March, early March, and the Canadian Championship final. So, yeah, there you go. There's the next 2 months, and I'll probably stream on Twitch tomorrow as well. We'll see. Some FIFA. We'll see. I'm running. I'm out. Peace.